Leaving your dog alone can be a tough experience for both of you. Whether you're heading out for work, running errands, or enjoying a night out, your pup may experience real anxiety, unsure of when or if you'll return. As a dog owner, you want to make sure your dog is comfortable when you're away, but sometimes, despite your best efforts, you may unknowingly make things worse. In this video, we'll walk you through 12 common mistakes people make when leaving their dogs alone and show you what you can do instead. By the end of this guide, you'll have a clear understanding of how to leave in the right way, reducing your dog's anxiety and ensuring they feel secure while you're gone. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to join our community of dedicated dog lovers. Mistake number 12, rushing your morning routine. For many of us, mornings are a rush. If you're not a morning person, it can be tempting to leave everything to the last possible moment. You might find yourself dragging yourself out of bed, grabbing a quick coffee and snack, and then hurrying out the door to catch your bus or get to work. But is this really the best way to handle your dog's emotions? Leaving your dog feeling rushed and unsettled can contribute to their anxiety. Instead, try waking up just a little earlier to allow for a calm, positive start to the day. Even a few extra minutes can make a difference. You can take your dog for a nice long walk before you leave, giving them both physical and mental stimulation. A tired dog is a happy dog, and by tiring your dog out in the morning, you're setting them up for a peaceful day of rest. It might mean sacrificing a few minutes of sleep, but the benefits for your dog and for your peace of mind are well worth it. Plus, it helps establish a healthy routine that can make your pup feel more secure when you're gone. Mistake number 11, over-reassuring your dog before you leave. Leaving your dog alone, especially for the first few times, is always going to be tough. You might give them their food, water, and toys and offer a few extra pets before you head out the door. However, many people unknowingly make the mistake of over-reassuring their dog right before they leave. The urge to rush back for a final pet or say goodbye again may seem like the loving thing to do, but it can have the opposite effect. Your dog is extremely attuned to your emotions and body language. If you make a big deal out of the moments before you leave, you're sending the message that your departure is a big, dramatic event. This can amplify your dog's anxiety and lead to separation distress. Dogs are creatures of routine, and by acting like it's no big deal when you leave, you help them view the situation in a calm, neutral way. Instead of making a big fuss, try keeping your goodbyes low-key. No big hugs, no dramatic farewells. Just calmly leave without overstressing the moment. This helps to normalize your departures and signals to your dog that it's nothing to worry about. Over time, your dog will learn to associate your leaving with a calm, predictable routine. Mistake number 10, overreacting to your dog's greeting when you return. As much as you love your dog, you might unknowingly be rewarding their overexcitement when you return home. Your pup is likely to act like they've been waiting for you for years, greeting you with excessive joy, jumping, barking, and maybe even trying to lick your face. While it's hard to resist those adorable, enthusiastic greetings, it's important not to reward this overly excited behavior. The key here is to remain calm and composed when you return home. While it's perfectly fine to pet your dog and shower them with affection, try to avoid doing so when they're in the middle of their overly excited behavior. Instead, wait for them to calm down a little bit before giving them attention. This teaches your dog that calm behavior gets rewarded, and excitement doesn't have to be the only way they show affection. By waiting for your dog to settle down, you help them understand that calm behavior is just as rewarding, if not more so, than hyperactive excitement. This will not only help them be less anxious when you leave, but it will also encourage better manners when you return. Mistake number 9, scolding your dog for separation anxiety. Separation anxiety is a real challenge for many dogs. It can cause them to act out in destructive ways like chewing furniture, soiling in the house, or barking excessively. It's important to remember that these behaviors are a result of your dog's anxiety and not an attempt to misbehave. When you come home to find your dog has chewed up a cushion or had an accident in the house, it's natural to feel frustrated. However, scolding them for these actions will only make things worse. Dogs don't understand why they're being scolded unless they're caught in the act. If you yell at your dog for something they did hours ago, they will not make the connection between the punishment and the behavior. Instead, they will simply become confused and anxious. This can make their anxiety worse and even cause them to associate your return home with negative feelings. Instead of scolding your dog, it's important to address the root cause of their anxiety. consider whether your dog is getting enough exercise, mental stimulation, and comfort while you're gone. If necessary, hire a dog walker or ask a friend to check in on them during the day. When you return home, remain calm and composed. Give your dog the opportunity to relax before showing affection. With time, they'll learn that your return isn't associated with punishment or stress. Mistake number 8, keeping your dog's toys out of reach. While you may think it's best to tidy up the house before you leave, it's important to think about how your dog will spend their time while you're gone. If you put all their toys away, you're essentially leaving them with nothing to do, which can contribute to boredom and anxiety. To prevent this, try leaving a variety of toys scattered around the house. Interactive toys, such as puzzle feeders or treat dispensing toys, are especially helpful. These toys provide both mental and physical stimulation, keeping your dog engaged for longer periods. Rotate their toys each day to keep things fresh, or hide a few treats in different places for your dog to sniff out. This will help keep your dog entertained and reduce the likelihood of destructive behaviors caused by boredom. Mistake number 7, not providing a safe space for your dog. Does your dog have a designated area in the house where they feel safe? It's important to give your dog a space they can retreat to when they're feeling anxious. If you haven't already crate trained your dog, consider setting up a cozy den area in a quiet corner of the house. This could be a crate with a blanket inside or a designated bed where your dog can relax. If you don't crate your dog, that's okay. The key is to ensure that they have a safe space to retreat to when they feel overwhelmed. If your dog doesn't have a space to call their own, they may resort to destructive behaviors to cope with their anxiety. By giving them a quiet, comfortable place to rest, you can help them feel more secure while you're gone. Mistake number 6, forgetting to open the curtains. You might not think about it, but the curtains can play a big role in your dog's experience when they're home alone. Many dogs enjoy watching the world go by, whether it's people passing on the sidewalk, birds flying by, or even just the sunlight streaming through the window. Leaving the curtains closed all day can deprive your dog of mental stimulation, which could make them more anxious or bored. If you're leaving your dog at home alone, make sure to open the curtains if it's safe to do so they can watch the world outside. If you live in a busy area, your dog might enjoy observing pedestrians or traffic. If you're in a quieter area, your dog may find comfort in watching birds or squirrels. Natural light is also beneficial for your dog's well-being, as it helps regulate their circadian rhythms and can contribute to a better mood. Mistake number 5, leaving the TV or radio on without thought. Leaving the TV or radio on for your dog might seem like a good idea, as it provides them with some background noise and human voices. However, it's important to be mindful of what your dog is actually hearing. Randomly leaving a TV channel or radio station on could result in loud, startling noises that may cause your dog distress. Instead of leaving the TV or radio on without thought, try creating a calming environment for your dog. Consider putting on a playlist of soothing music or a DVD that's specifically designed for dogs. There are even playlists and apps designed to reduce dog anxiety. If you know that certain sounds make your dog anxious, like thunderstorms or sirens, avoid leaving on anything that could trigger those fears. Mistake number 4, not preparing your dog for alone time. One of the biggest mistakes people make when leaving their dog alone is not preparing them properly. Dogs are creatures of habit, and suddenly going from spending all your time together to leaving them alone for hours at a time can be a shock. To help your dog adjust, it's important to start small and gradually increase the amount of time they're left alone. Begin by leaving your dog in a room for just a few minutes at a time. After you've left, come back in and reward them with a treat. Gradually, extend the amount of time you leave them, building up to a full workday. This helps your dog understand that being left alone isn't a big deal, and that you will always return. Mistake number 3, not keeping a regular routine. Dogs thrive on routine. If you always come home at the same time every day, your dog will start to associate that time with your return. They'll feel more secure knowing that they can rely on your regular schedule. However, if your return time is inconsistent, your dog may become anxious and unsure of when you'll be back. If possible, try to come home at roughly the same time each day. This will help reduce your dog's anxiety and make them feel more secure. If you know you'll be late, consider asking a friend or neighbor to check in on your dog to break up the time. Mistake number 2, overfeeding your dog. It can be tempting to leave a large bowl of food for your dog when you're gone, but this can lead to overeating. Dogs, especially those with a feast or famine instinct, tend to eat as much as they can when food is available. This can cause digestive issues and leave them feeling uncomfortable. Instead, provide smaller amounts of food that are harder for them to access. Consider using a puzzle feeder or hiding treats around the house to keep them engaged. This will help your dog feel mentally stimulated and satisfied, and it'll prevent them from overeating. Mistake number 1, ignoring your dog's anxiety. When you first start leaving your dog alone, you might be tempted to follow the advice of those who say, let them cry it out. While it might seem like a good idea to ignore your dog's distress, this can actually make things worse. Your dog doesn't understand why you're not coming back, and this can increase their anxiety. Instead of ignoring your dog's cries, go back and reassure them that you're there. Show them affection and comfort them without overdoing it. Gradually, your dog will learn that being alone isn't something to fear. With time, they'll associate your departures with positive experiences, making them feel more secure and at ease. By making these small changes to how you handle leaving your dog alone, you'll help them feel more comfortable and less anxious when you're away. Whether it's sticking to a routine, providing mental stimulation, or gradually increasing the time they're left alone, each step you take will help create a more positive experience for your furry friend. With patience and consistency, your dog will learn to feel secure when you're not home.